Hi everyone. Today we have a special edition reading dedicated to the Mercury retrograde that has started today in the sign of Sagittarius, and then on the 18th of the month it will switch to Scorpio. It will eventually go direct on the 26th, but yeah, it's gonna be 3 weeks. And we know that there's also a shadow period that is happening before and after, and so the before is for about 3 weeks. We've already passed through it, obviously, and then the shadow period after is another 3 weeks, so it takes us till like mid-December essentially. And yes, it's a little bit more sensitive because it's holiday time. We're going to be getting together with friends and family a lot. And since Mercury retrograde is a lot about communication, technology, transportation, and it challenges us in those ways, it could be more difficult to relay your message, to get to your destination, to get your technology to work for you, for what you wanted to do. But it also invites you to reflect, right? Why is this important to me? And mind that if something is triggering you, that is an identification that it is important somehow, right? And you have a chance to dive deeper, especially when it switches to Scorpio, because Scorpio definitely is about the depths, that subconscious world, where we may not even know all of our driving factors of why we make a decision one way or the other. So definitely invite you to think a little bit more of what that could mean for you and for what's coming your way. Today we're going to see, obviously with tarot, we actually are going to start with a couple of oracle cards because I want to see the themes and what is important to keep in mind, and then we'll go with tarot and we'll see what kind of opportunities we get and what kind of challenges we'll be working with or through, and then what's on the other side. It's always good to know what's the reward, right? What are we really working for here? So without further ado, I'm gonna get started. For those who are still waiting for Virgo and Libra readings, just know that I tried recording Virgo readings twice yesterday. And I mean, at least one. The first time I recorded almost everything and it was gone. The recording stopped and it didn't save the video that was recorded up till that point, and that was like 95% of a reading. So I was like, okay, it's okay, I can do it again, and I've got the cards, I got the messages, so I'll do that version where I walk you through the cards and everything. And it was a good message, honestly. And then the second time I do it, and again halfway through the message it breaks the recording, and then all the time that I was talking, which was like good 8 minutes, gone. And at that point I was like, I think I'm just kind of doing it out of principle, really. Like the universe is definitely telling me, whether it's Mercury retrograde or not, it's telling me it's not a good time to do it right now. So I will finish up with those two, but yes, waiting for a bit of a right moment for that, you can say it that way. And I will record a new video for Virgo, so I'm not going to use the same spread, I'll do a new one. So it will be special, I'm sure. First theme that we have for this Mercury retrograde is Heal the Ouch. Heal the Ouch is both about helping others and it's about getting help, calling in help, being able to raise your hand and say, I need help, right? And if we think about communication, which is what Mercury retrograde is, then it is a lot about like, how are we offering help? How are we putting the message out there that people actually know and understand and hear it that way? And also, how do we ask for help, right? That's also a big part of communication. And I'm like one of the first people to raise my hand and say I'm not good at asking for help at all. And this is like challenging. Why do we consider that this is some kind of a weakness, or if it's impolite, or we don't want to be an imposition to anyone, right? Definitely a topic for another day, but this is something to think about. Almost like, what do you need to heal in that part of the storyline? And now we have number 47. By the way, 38 and 47, both of them are 11, and we are approaching 11/11 portal, which is gonna be happening on Tuesday, and I'll do a different reading for it for sure. But just saying, sacred pool. Yeah, so the sacred pool is like that source of universal energy that's with you, that's supporting you, and no matter what the reality looks like and how you perceive it, and maybe you perceive it in a negative way, it's important to remember that you can always dip into this sacred pool, right, and get rejuvenated and get the support you need, and get the help, if anything, right? Like, you're never alone, you are being guided. And that's probably the most repeated message that I'm getting during the last couple of days, including the readings that are disappearing on me. Okay, it's a 9-card spread. If you're interested in personal reading, please hit me up, because with holidays coming, I will be busier as well, just with my personal agenda. I have still quite a lot of travel planned, so it's best to use this opportunity. Like, in the next week or two, I will be more available. Okay, so the first one is, what kind of opportunities are we getting? Blessings. 9 of Swords. I know it's like a little ironic to see this as an opportunity, but that's part of the reading. The Lovers. Nice. And Ace of Wands. Love it. The second one is, what kind of challenges are we going to be working through? We've got the Magician, 8 of Cups, 9 of Wands. And what's on the other side? 2 of Wands, the Devil, and 3 of Wands. I like the sequence of 2 and 3 of Wands, actually. Justice at the bottom of the deck. Yeah, so it's again interesting because there's such a negative spin on this event, but it actually helps us. The more we know about ourselves, if we take this time as it's intended for reflection and mindfulness, then we learn a lot about ourselves and our story. And that is actually a very balancing state and situation, because then we're able, if we know where the disbalance is, then we're able to bring more balance, right? And not to depend as much on external circumstances. Here are some strange sounds, but it's okay. So first, we see the opportunities. 9 of Swords, Lovers, Ace of Wands. So connecting with what actually lights up your heart and brings more love into your space. And it's not about dismissing the fear, it's about showing love to the fear and anxiety too. That's what I'm hearing. Very interesting, right? So the opportunity is to show up with love to any way that you are, any state, any feeling, emotion that you have. And of course, then extend it to people around you. So even if they're having a bad day, you're still able to find it in your heart to show them love, and not just like think it to yourself, but actually express it. And I love this Ace of Wands, because wands are about taking action, right? So it's like, how do I let people know that I'm in this loving energy, that I've got their back, that I show in kindness, right? It's thinking a little bit more about the how during this time. Because maybe you think that you have been showing up in a loving way, but people don't always see it that way. So this is a chance to reconsider the format, the language. The challenges: Magician, 8 of Cups, 9 of Wands. This is like running away from your own power. Acknowledging your power and control in your own life, or even being, I don't want to say responsible, but really a creator of your own life, takes a lot of courage, and it is scary. It's scary to admit that even if you believe in higher power, there's still a lot of responsibility that lies on you as a person. There's a lot of fear that's in your space created by you. Some of it, of course, is inherited, but right now you're the carrier of that energy. And how do you walk away from that without walking away from who you really are? Because we know that you know, with the concept of wounded healer, those wounds, they're part of our identity, and essentially we are healing them, and by that we are encompassing more power, more freedom, more wisdom. Those things are directly connected. So we don't want to just throw that away just because it doesn't look nice or it doesn't feel nice, but it will be a challenge to just suppress it, to pretend like everything's fine, and variations of that scenario. What's on the other side? We have Two of Wands, Devil, and Three of Wands. We are not in the kind of clear that everything is going to be smooth sailing from now on because Mercury retrograde is over. But we will have clarity that will allow us to set new intentions, new goals, which is of course great as we are approaching the end of calendar year here, at least in the Western Hemisphere. And a lot of people have their thoughts and intentions towards the new year 2026 and what they want to accomplish, and you know, creating new dreams for themselves and things like that. So it will be very meaningful to see, based on the new clarity and that pathway that you've cleared for yourself, to be able to see what is now the next step. What do I want to create? What are my dreams, right? What's next? It's beautiful. And it's not going to be coming just like from thin air again, like what I'm supposed to want, but it will be a lot more authentic to you, to like what makes sense for me right now and what is that next step, because you've done all that homework with reflection and introspection, and then will be time to put it on the, you know, into the external world. And again, once we're starting to take action and speak out and take an aligned action in alignment with your newly set goals and dreams. Okay, I'm gonna finish this one here. I didn't want it to be long. I hope this was useful to you guys. As always, appreciate all your likes, and if you're new, please subscribe to the channel. And until next time, bye.